Yes,
This,
that's yeah. Wow, you know what? You put it in a great way. That's actually the best way that you could put it. That's it's exactly that.
I think he was reading a
And
quote.
I don't see.
yeah.
Well, there you go. I, no wonder it sounded like I totally agree. No wonder I totally agree with it.
You ever heard him talk
But
so
yeah,
accurately before?
Family
Come
Guy
on.
doesn't do that, or other cartoons. I know, right?
Yeah.
It was impressive though.
Rejected no more. We have Chaosking, Tap and Nap, and Ash. So our first topic is going to be South Park, the brilliance of it, and how it deals with humor and real issues without sacrificing humor. So, Chaos King, what's your view on it?
Wow, based on season one, South Park, when they brought in blah blah blah. South Park, it's a good show, but they they,
Like,
so like if we go back to like let's let's see
PC
how
Principle?
what'd you say?
PC Principle.
I mean, South Park's been around since like 90, 98, 97 maybe.
Yeah,
They've been in like they do a mix of
Yeah.
both like real shit and comedy, but the
yeah.
fact but the only difference is like
And
just the
remember,
stuff.
remember how it used to look?
Yeah,
What?
it looked like they drew
What?
the it looked like they drew the people on paper, and they were moving their mouth in one of those take a picture and then move them a spot. Was it like stop motion or something? What's that called?
I know. That's what I was gonna say. It used to look awful. It used to look really bad in the first season,
It's
first and
because
second season.
it's because it wasn't animation. They were actually doing all that. They did that by
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
They had a crew. But yeah, as the show's gone on, like because like I know before, like the first literally like the first like 13 seasons at least, they were doing all that shit like the week before the episode came out. They're recording everything. So at the very least, they put thought into it, but not that much. And they got to get the jokes out quick. So it's like those first instinct type things. Like you remember the episode with when Obama became president, I think, and they had it was like the movie Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
had that was pretty much the premise. Obama, uh, what the fuck, are you good? Whoever that is,
Mhm.
Obama. They had like Joe Biden or whoever the Republican was, not Biden, Mitt Romney maybe, Michelle Obama, whoever the running mate, Sarah Palin. They were all like Ocean's 11 and running for
Yeah.
president was just to steal like a diamond thing. But they
Yeah, I
ended up,
remember that.
but Obama became president. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna change my life. You can bring your kids with you too, Michelle. All that shit. Like they know. I'm pretty sure they know. People are watching the show to laugh, but they'll bring up like topics, but they'll make light of it. Very
Yeah.
rarely do they actually like dive into it, like be serious about it.
But yeah, they have covered a lot of stuff like economics. Then there was that elderly thing. Do you remember when? Who was it? Was it? Yeah, Stan's granddad. He bought something of the internet. There was this Dean guy who used to
Yeah,
sell stuff,
the guy on the
and then
commercial.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's actually one. Yeah, I remember that
And
episode.
Cartman
That's
was
a great
like,
episode.
you like fucking kids. You fuck me. That's how good the deal is. You fuck me." And then he goes to some Chinese lady shop, and they are like, "You fuck me. You fat man. You fuck me. So good deal." And it was like,
I remember
yeah.
that one. I remember that one where they're buying
yeah. It
what was it?
still it still
Stan's grandpa, right?
Yeah.
He
it
was
still
buying shit.
yeah, it's those commercials on TV like at midnight. They're like, buy this for your grandkid, he'll love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that you can buy jewelry
Yeah,
if you call this 800
Yeah.
number.
It's
I remember then at the end he says to the guy to kill himself, like unironically kill himself,
yeah,
yeah.
and the guy ends up
yeah,
doing it. Yeah.
yeah.
And he just draws value of it like, okay, what is my value?
Hmm.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think South Park does make humor of stuff like that, but I think like Chaos was saying, they don't really go deep into the human psyche. They just sort of criticize
The-
social things that are
Well,
happening at the
yeah.
moment.
well,
They
I'd
don't
say
discuss it psychologically, but
I feel like they do kind of, but like for like the main
yeah.
characters and stuff, you know, because they
Yeah,
had
like
they had the teacher, Mr. Garrison. He was a
yeah,
guy. He
who
was a
when
guy. Then he became gay. Then he became straight. Then he
yeah,
became a woman. Then he became a guy
yeah,
again. Then he became Donald Trump. Now he's back to Mr.
yeah.
Garrison.
You remember that episode with Mr. Garrison where he wants to get his dad to molest him because he saw that everybody was molested as a kid,
Yeah,
and then he tries to convince his dad to molest him,
yeah,
so he feels loved or something like that. It's a fucking weird episode.
There was a similar kind of thing in that Always Sunny show where the main characters they study in school, so they had this one coach who used to give make kids give blowjob to him.
yeah. I
So
remember that.
so one guy was like, "What the fuck was wrong with me? Look at me. I used to be cute, but nothing like that happened to me because he felt missed out because all these victims were coming out, and he was like, "What the fuck was wrong with me? I looked cute."
Hmm.
And then
Yeah, that's
he
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
then
They deal with they deal with social topics that are hot at the moment,
yeah.
but it's not like
Like there was
Yeah,
Margaritaville. Remember that mixer thing where Stan buys the mixer and then he goes to return it. They're like, no, we don't control it. You should have to go to those people who give you credit. Then he goes to that guy. He is like, no, we don't have Wall Street have the money because we have invested in that. So then he goes to Wall Street. They're like U.S. Treasury. Then he goes to U.S. Treasury and it's like a chicken. They cut his head and they make him dance. So he just dance on a wheel, and where he stops, they are like, okay, what should we do? Then he stops on bailout. So they are like, we will come bail out the bank. Remember that shit?
I didn't see that episode.
that one. I don't know. Yeah, that one I don't know if I saw. That's
Yeah,
it's,
like
I
if it's
I think
new,
I
I
stopped.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I think I stopped around season 10 or season 11.
That was like
I
12,
don't know. I
20 years
haven't
ago.
seen all the news.
That was like 20
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
I know, dude. I know, I know.
But yeah, like I watch on and off again, like the recent stuff, but I don't like
Yeah,
tune
so
into it.
this was where they did the commentary on like what if religion and politics get together. Like Randy was trying to be a guy who was like you have to be frugal. And Kyle was trying to be Jesus,
I think your
and
descri- I think
Yeah,
I think your
I
description's a
haven't.
little
I haven't
off.
seen that one.
he was trying to take away all the depth of people,
Yeah, I
all
didn't
the
see.
people over there.
You're going over my head. I didn't see that one.
Okay, no problem.
But yeah,
So
I would say this
so,
though. I would go ahead. My bad.
I was saying South Park.
so
South Park dives into the issues, but they don't go full throttle. You know, it's kind of lighthearted. But every now and then, like randomly through a season, they'll bring
And
up
you know
real
what they also,
issues. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
but you know what they also do that they do it a lot. They tend to turn it into like a movie parody.
Yeah,
Can you
it's
hear
like
me?
yeah,
yeah,
they combine different tropes. Like
They
they would
they
just do
no,
yeah,
but
speak up.
more than often they do it for like a movie. Like Chaos said, the episode with Obama, they make it like Ocean's 11.
yeah.
Uh, they do that a lot.
Because I remember,
Like
So this
they
was
resort to
yeah,
that
like
formula
this
of trying
this
to
that's
make
a,
it like
yeah. this Margaritaville thing was like Passion of Christ. And then there was that wall thing. Remember when all these Canadians come and they are like, okay, we are going to build the wall, and they build the wall first.
Yeah, they started doing that like I want to
Yeah,
say like
yeah,
season
exactly.
15
Yeah,
or season 15 or season 16. I remember that's when they really started doing it a lot. It was pretty recent, like the last 6 years, I'd say. Because before that, they wouldn't be doing episodes like that.
I remember they doing that a
It was
lot.
a
It's like a.
nah. I mean,
I remember them doing. They did it a lot. Anyway,
uh, it's relatively new. Right, like
Like,
6 years.
nah, dude, they were doing it
No,
when
I know.
I was watching it. That was forever ago.
Really forever. You're still on like season 13, bro.
Like you remember the Coon episodes
What'd you call me?
when Carmen is the Coon.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
come.
Prime Minister.
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, the Coon and Friends,
Well, yeah.
Imagine,
If you guys
Imagination Land.
remember,
Yeah, all that.
right?
Creamy goo, butters, creamy goo.
All those episodes are sort of structured
That
like a
shit was
movie.
funny.
They're sort of structured like a movie. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah,
Every Everybody was buying butters cum, and then Randy drinks it at the end, and he's like, "Oh, it's cum."
mm-hmm.
Nobody realized everybody was drinking it. It's a sports drink. Butters, creamy goo. Yeah, man, that shit was funny. I think earlier on it used to be more chill. Then later on
Yeah,
it
I would say.
starts to dig in deep. Like whatever was the current climate, they would just try to joke on it. Before that, they would just cover the characters, like that girls versus guys thing. Like all the girlfriends got together and they were just fed up with trolling, so they were like giving out, "Hey, let's we broke up."
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there was what else?
I would say the South Park. I would say the South Park for me at least is probably the best out of the American TV.
Yeah, because
Like if you compare with
Family Guy is crap.
you if you compare
No,
it.
no. The Family Guy
No, no,
is
listen. I like Family Guy. I like Family Guy.
yeah.
That's not the thing.
The problem
Right.
is Comedy Central gives them free reign. They can do whatever they want. Family Guy, while they kind of seem like they do whatever they want, they still can't.
I
Mm.
There's a lot more freedom. Family Guy has to do more work. They guys can't just like
yeah, and
attack
Yeah,
honestly,
random
but
people
but
anymore.
and
writing wise, Family Guy does not like blend in the story. So they would be like, okay, Peter, like they are discussing something, and then suddenly Peter will tell a joke by telling about a flashback which is unrelated.
But at the same time, South Park did that for like over half the show.
no,
Like,
listen.
you know how
No,
many times Kenny died
but yeah, but
and
no, that
nobody.
not that the thing. It's
Oh
like where like
no,
they would have
that's
stories
what.
where
But
things
none of
will go
them.
on.
But none of them were ever related. That's what I meant. Not the thing Rock was talking about.
Yeah, but
They didn't relate. All the
in
previous
Family
stuff
Guy,
was
in
ever the
Family Guy,
same.
the jokes are not like related. Like they would go from
Oh,
like
but
let's
that's the
say
character.
something is happening. Yeah, like Peter will say, "Okay, I'll give you an example." Then he would go into the flashback, and he'll be like, "Oh,
But
do you,
that's his character
oh,
though. He's
But
been
yeah,
listen,
he's been doing
listen,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
When it no, and when it comes to Family Guy, it doesn't matter. Family Guy doesn't need that structure that South Park has. The structure
Yeah.
that Family Guy
yeah."
has, it
Family,
works for
I
it.
wouldn't even
Even if
I
it's
wouldn't even
random
say
flashbacks all the time. Uh, I was kind of comparing South Park with all the other cartoons with Family Guy, Futurama, The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
I think The Simpsons are second behind. The Simpsons are second behind South Park, like as being the bad ones.
I think Family Guy is better than
Like the old
Simpsons.
Simpsons, I guess.
have you watched The Simpsons?
I don't think
It's
so. I
boring,
think
man.
the
It's
Simpsons
boring.
have better. I Dude, I grew up watching The Simpsons. That shit was the only thing that was it before South Park came along.
You realize it hasn't changed a bit since you grew up.
Yeah, it's same shit.
It's been running for too long. That's the damn problem. What else
Yeah,
are they gonna do?
yeah.
Right?
South Park's been running for like 25 years. They're fine. Family Guy's almost hit 20 years, I think.
Yeah, and I think
They're fine.
that's why.
Sips.
No, I mean, in terms for me personally, in terms of my taste, I think South Park is the best one, and then I would say The Simpsons, then I would say Futurama, and then I would say Family Guy, and then American Dad, and all that.
Futurama is
Oh,
better than Simpsons.
Futurama.
Also,
I
you
will.
forgot about
I
BoJack
don't think so.
Horseman, buddy, and Rick and Morty.
I didn't watch Rick and Morty, and BoJack Horseman doesn't even make the cut, even though it is a funny cartoon. But it's
I,
not the same. I don't know.
I've seen BoJack Horseman. I didn't smile. I didn't laugh.
It's not funny. It's realistic, buddy. It's about issues
Bro,
about like the talking horse is
talking
like
horse is realistic.
yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, it's the
Exactly.
irony.
You
It,
set yourself
it's
up for that one. I think.
no. I was saying like it's the irony. Like the talking horse is going to be the most relatable character
Because he's
in all
realistic.
the stuff.
Listen, I watched it. I watched it, and honestly, it's pretty good. But it's not. It's not like a cartoon like Family Guy. It doesn't feel the same.
Yeah,
It
because
feels like a Netflix
it's
thing.
not like Family Guy. It's different.
There's different types of shows, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Not everything going to be a like Family Guy.
At the same time, you could say that
Well, my
Family Guy is
favorite one.
realistic too.
No.
If you're saying BoJack Horseman,
What?
if you're gonna say BoJack Horseman's realistic, you can say Family Guy's realistic.
I guess
No.
that's true.
Yeah.
How?
It's, hey, it's about a family and a guy. It's got a talking dog. Your show, BoJack Horseman has a talking horse.
No talking animals.
Hey, and a
Like
talking baby.
is people talking baby? Family Guy has. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Stewie.
Stewie. It's the same
So
thing.
it's not about that.
Oh, I
Nah,
guess.
it's not about that. It's about how the characters are written.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Family Guy though, and The Simpsons. I don't even like The Simpsons. It's the same thing for that.
No, but
What
you
the
know what?
fuck?
You know what South Park did that? Listen, you know what South Park did that I thought was brilliant. Like I remember in the season when they were talking about PewDiePie. You remember all that stuff? You guys remember that?
No.
Where Carmen becomes a reactor. Where Carmen starts a channel like PewDiePie, and that whole season they sort of start building up the premises, and they all like they run constantly through the episodes. You know what I mean? They have like a
Yeah,
they throw out a lot of premises in that season, and then they incorporate it in each episode. In each
yeah.
episode, so it's just like great storytelling. It's way better than Family Guy, and even The
So,
Simpsons. That's why I say South Park is the best one.
so,
Out of all the ones, South Park is the best one.
so with that stuff, like I said, they just now recently started doing that. That's a new thing they did because they didn't used to do that. Literally, like
No,
2014
but
or
Yes,
it's
fifteen.
that's true.
like there are
That's
stories
true.
like the writers of South Park did an interview where they explained like how they write the story. Like there is like how should I say, but or therefore. Yeah, like in between each story, you can put words but or therefore. Then you have a story in which the events taking place are reacting to each other. The story slash plot builds momentum and tension based on everything else that has happened previously, not because of the arbitrary whims of the writer. So this is the structure that they have followed. This
Yes,
is
that's yeah. Wow, actually, you know what? You put it in a great way. That's actually the best way that you could put it. That's it's exactly
I,
that.
I think he was reading a
And
quote.
I don't see.
yeah.
Well, there you go. I, no wonder. It's sort of like I totally agree. No wonder I totally agree with it.
You ever heard him talk
But
so
yeah,
accurately before?
Family
Come
Guy
on.
doesn't do that, or other cartoons. I know, right?
Eh,
It was impressive though.
like I said, but that's mainly because
Future.
Comedy Central gives them free reign. They got 100% control. They don't gotta make any alternate things or do like ad placements or anything in their stuff. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, plus they don't force anything, like you know how in those DC CW shows there are forcing stuff. Oh, we have to include this in the storyline.
No.
And the Batwoman that shit flopped like hell because of that. Because they could not blend the thing into the story.
I like Batwoman.
Uh,
Which one?
would you guys say?
I
Would
Both
you
couldn't
of
keep
them.
a
guys
straight
say?
face. I couldn't keep a straight face saying that.
Would you guys say that South Park is the best American cartoon?
No.
No.
Who do you think? Which one do you think tops it?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, dude, I'm talking about terms of comedy. Not don't go
It
into
is a
that
comedy.
weeb shit.
It is a comedy.
Oh come
It's
on.
also a cartoon. It's not weebish. It's a comedy. Go look it up. Go look up the genre for it. It's a comedy.
Nah, man.
Great. It's the
Batman the animated series. That thing was dope.
Hey, you're
well,
talking,
if South Park, I'm talking about comedy wise. Is it
look.
not the best one?
You mean like these long running shows for like over a decade, animated stuff? Out of those,
Yeah,
yeah.
he means that.
Out of those, yeah, it's the best. But it doesn't have that much meaning, you know. Like if you mean cartoons specifically, that includes everything.
Yeah, but you know, South Park, the good thing that I liked about it is that it tries to come up with any problem from all the directions. Like they will
Yeah.
try to cover every side instead of just shoving one thing.
I don't know about every side, but most sides, yeah.
Well, yeah. At the
Like
end of
I
the day, it
guess,
doesn't feel like they take a stand on either side. They just want to make fun of it.
yeah. Like remember the Scientology when I think Stan becomes a Scientology leader or whatever,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the
and
chosen.
then
He's the chosen one. Yeah.
and then he tells the group, "Hey, I have an idea. We're gonna make our or like halve the prices or make it free for everyone." And the guy's like, "No, you actually believe this shit? We're trying to make money." And then he says that Stan's actually like a false, whatever they designed him as. He's a fake one. And then everyone in Scientology cancels him. He's kicked out all because he wanted to make it free for everyone.
Oh, this reminded me of Cartman when he starts a band with Token and Butter, pleasing Jesus.
Yeah,
And
Oh
they serve tons
yes.
of songs. They are like, what?
Yeah.
Just replace the all these romantic songs with Christ, baby with Christ.
yo, right now in my head I'm singing the lyrics to one of their songs.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
episode. That episode was great.
yeah. It was about
Uh,
getting the first platinum track when they were doing the when Metallica was saying stop stealing music, and then like Stan, Kyle, and Kenny, they did that. They joined it too. And Cartman's like, I'm going to get a platinum album before y'all, and they're boycotting stealing music for the whole episode while he does that. Yeah, they're creative with their ideas.
Yep,
It comes out of left
they
yeah.
are
field.
really creative. And I have a couple of favorite episodes too. I really like the Warcraft one. That's a classic one.
Yeah,
And I like the shit. What was the other one? The one that culminates in that season where they make like a Christmas special. And like I said, Cartman is like a reactor, and he's reacting to the Christmas special, and everybody's putting the fucking hashtags while the program is happening.
I don't
Uh,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, yeah, that one's super awesome too. Shit, there's a couple of more that I
What
really like.
the one where they have to say where they say the cursed words episode where to see how many times you can say shit before
Yeah,
something
I
Oh,
remember
happens.
yeah,
that.
wow, that's a really old one, dude. Yes.
Where what? Kyle's always plays in Cartman is like, hey Kyle, why is there sand in your vagina?
course, the Coonan friends with Cthulhu, always good.
That one is decent. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's memorable. One of the most memorable ones too.
Imagination
But
Land, Imagination Land with the friendly neighborhood like animals that rape and kill and fuck people.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and the
Oh, I
And also
remember
like
that. I
also they
remember
have
that.
like so many good characters. Like there's Butters, Stan, Kyle, and then Cartman. Then there's this Tweak and Craig, Token, and they are all like, what's that crippled guy? Stan? No. What is his name?
Timmy
Timmy,
or Jimmy or
Tim.
Timmy.
Timmy,
Jimmy.
Timmy,
Timmy.
Timmy.
Oh, Timmy. Yeah.
There is a Jimmy.
Yeah, you
Then
don't
Jimmy
remember? He
Valmer.
had like a rock band. He had like a rock band. They were
Yeah,
like, dun, 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 Timmy. That's all he would say in the song.
yeah. And the one where what's the one
Butters.
where Cartman got bullied and he killed the bully's parents and fed them to him and
Yes,
the chili con.
that's like the that's like the first episode when they made Carmen like a full blown psycho. That I remember. After
Like
that episode, he got worse. Like he started
I
doing
mean
Alright.
awful shit.
he kills a guy and then makes his kid eat him,
Well,
and
he
then
didn't
it
kill him.
turns out to be his dad.
He didn't kill him himself. Somebody else killed him. The farmer, the farmer who he got his parents to go to trespass and they got shot.
Yeah, Carmen literally turned into Hannibal Lecter on that one.
He's
And
just
then later on, he found out that it was his own dad, and he was like, "Shit, I'm Ginger," and he was upset about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
He made the ginger
wait!
cult.
I remember a great one. Remember? Do you guys remember the one where like Life on Earth? It's like a TV show for aliens, and they're going to cancel Earth. They're gonna blow up the Earth because it's no
Yeah,
longer entertaining as a TV show.
yeah.
That episode I remember liking really. It was really good too.
Now that you mention
And
that, Rick and Morty had an episode like that. Literally, there were aliens that came to their planet. They said they're gonna. Well, it was like more like a sing off, but they're gonna destroy whichever planet didn't win their contest. A little different, but it was a show for aliens.
You know,
yeah, and the thing is that people are always crazy. They keep on doing shit, so they would always have jokes of people. Like right now, the new seasons are covering this coronavirus, QAnon, and all those things. And people will
I
keep
gotta
on
watch
doing.
that.
People are doing shit, and they are like, okay, we are getting content from that. Good. Which kind of brings up to our second topic, humanity. It's failing
Holy
and letting go
shit!
of its morals. See, I told you I'll
Jesus,
connect it.
it's
That's
a broad
why.
topic. You just gotta say humanity, and come on, dude. You need to like focus on something.
Did you say morals? Did you say humanity's morals?
Yeah.
What are morals?
Oh my god,
No,
I
no,
can't.
no.
I don't think I can.
I got a
I
point.
don't think I can do this.
I got a
No,
Okay.
point.
but
What are morals? No, tell me.
it's no, it's not individual morals. It's
No,
we are
I'm
talking
talking
about
about what are
morals that
what's the general meaning?
society have put on upon you.
How can society put something on you? You have to accept it. Like you
They
have to
drill
put
it,
it on
buddy.
you. No,
They
you
drill
have
it.
you have to put it on yourself. Society can't put anything on you because society is not a physical thing. It's a structure made up by a group of people who choose to believe it. So therefore, you have to choose to believe it for society to do something. And at the end, you're choosing it. So it's
Yeah,
more.
that's
It's
the
more.
general consensus.
Oh, then what are you talking about? It's person choosing
Like
something.
laws are designed. No, no, it's like laws are designed around these morals. So people are like, not everybody is going to break the law in order to do something bad. Only if
So,
you are
but how can
rich
you?
enough to get away with it, or
But
like
aren't you?
people. It's like people. They were like, okay, we are going to believe in this. Now they are just not believing it. That they are like, okay, when it's about someone else, they are like, okay, it's right. But when it comes to us, they are like, okay, we are not going to follow that shit.
Also, chaos when it comes to choosing. I don't think people really have that much
Oh, they do.
Freedom?
uh,
They do.
freedom with their
Nah,
choices. You
They
think
do.
everything.
Yeah.
I hear that
nah.
argument all the time. I hear that argument all the time. It's about choice. It's not really. I mean, some of the choices you make are dictated by your surroundings and your
I mean, you
With
have
this,
a
you
choice to
growing up
be.
and all that.
that's your oh.
You have a choice to be American Psycho, but you don't see many American Psychos. No, not many Christian Bale roaming around there. A lot of
That's a
people
great
like
movie,
that
by the way.
character. A
That's a
lot of
It's a
people
great
like that
movie.
character.
It's not a role model to follow.
well,
It's
you
obviously
just
it's
how
not
can
a
you say that though? You just said people are shaped by their environment. If some kid's growing up and that's all he has on his TV, all he has on his computer, American Psycho, and his parents or whoever plays it every day on loop, then according to you, that's what they're structured around.
Yeah.
no. Listen,
They're
it
structured around
it really
murders
it
and murders and decapitation. That's what
no.
their
It's
life.
really hard for me to say. It's really hard for me to say what each individual is gonna absorb out of their environment. Some
Yeah, that's true.
people can some people can totally go the other way and hate that kind of stuff. Other people can buy into it. So
Or they can use their brain and just make a choice and not hate or buy into anything.
you
So
have
what
to
should they?
chaos. You have to uh, adapt into society and its
This
No,
norm
bi-
and its
how?
this
trends.
bitch this
You
bitch
don't.
bought into
How?
Funkos and he's like, I'm not going to buy it.
I know, right?
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
like, hey man, this thing is cool. I'm gonna collect every fucking thing.
Bro,
Then he was like, he bought into the WWE. Like, you gotta support us by buying the merch. Now you got see so
hey,
many titles around at the
how,
back.
bro? I got another one right on my bed too. But yeah, you can't force. How can you force somebody? What'd you say? You said you force somebody to adapt or something, right?
No, no.
So,
Here's the thing, chaos. You will try to force to adapt to the normal trends of society, the popular trends,
Hold on,
just so.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
you force the kid.
What is that noise? What is that?
Yeah, what
Which
is
one?
that?
Are you done?
It's over now. Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
It
What
wasn't
was
me.
that? Your neighbors?
Okay, yeah.
The banging
No,
you?
no.
Okay,
I
go.
thought it was Ash.
So did
It
I.
wasn't me.
So did I. I thought it was Ash too.
No, listen, chaos. What I mean is, when you live, I hate to say this word. When you live in a society like
We live in a
in a culture and everything,
society.
you have to adapt to the trends and the social issues that are currently happening. If you don't, it's true. You can choose to not engage all that. But if you don't, you are willingly making yourself an outcast. And when you
How
become
is?
an outcast,
Hold on.
that's
Pause.
that's not really a healthy mindset.
But how are you making yourself an outcast by choosing not to do what a majority of the people are doing?
Well, it
That
depends to
means
the extent.
you're excluding everybody else, and you're saying that all those people that are doing what the majority want, they're so one sided. They're not even gonna look your way or accept you.
Yep, that's the reality, buddy.
That's not
No,
even
it really
reality.
depends.
Yeah.
It no, it listen, okay, it depends on how much you participate in it and in which topics you choose to
Like,
participate.
for
You can
example,
ignore some.
in
You can ignore
2000.
some. That's true. When like we were
I
saying, you need
forgot.
to be part. You kind of need to be part of society. You don't need to be part of every trend. You don't need to be on Twitter. You don't need to be forced to be on Twitter and all that. I'm not saying that, but you kind of have to keep your head up and see what's relevant in today's society,
But
so
why?
so you don't become an outcast. But
Why did
again,
why did
dude, because
what is this outcast word you're saying? Like, what do you even mean by outcast? Because that makes no sense.
it really makes sense. Okay, let's put it in a simple context. Everybody's watching The Walking Dead, and you're not watching The
I've
Talking
never
Dead.
seen The Walking
Everybody's
Dead.
stuck.
I've never seen The
Oh,
Walking
jeez.
Dead. I've never
You are
seen Game of
fucking missing my
Thrones.
point.
No, well, I relate to this. I've never seen The Walking Dead. I've never seen Game of Thrones. One episode of either. I've never.
Right, right. So if everywhere you went in Twitter and Discord, they were just talking about that shit, The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and you don't know anything about that, you're the outcast of the group.
How? I'm an outcast.
My God, dude,
No, no,
it's
no, no, no,
self-explanatory.
no. But you're choosing to put the outcast label onto me, the other person. I'm not an outcast in my mind. Just because I don't know what you're talking about, I just won't join the conversation. Like, or maybe I'll ask. I don't know.
And in
But
and
you're
in the
you're the
context
one
of that,
you're the one adding a label onto the other person because they don't know
because
something that you
listen,
do.
because in the context of that conversation of that topic, you are the outcast because you're the one that's out of the fucking cast. That's everybody else talking about it. That's my whole point.
He's saying
How
like you
does
are out of the
that doesn't
conversation, that makes you an out. That's what he's saying.
Jesus is self-explanatory. I don't have to
no
explain this
no
much.
no. The problem is you're throwing labels out there. The person deciding to
Because it's
outcast.
a fitting label.
No, the person that chooses not to do that. If they don't label themselves an outcast, they are not an outcast.
Let's check the definition of outcast before we throw around that word.
OUTKAST?
CAST, buddy.
No,
A person who
LUTKAST.
has been rejected by society or
By
social group.
society, not by them.
That's what I. Yeah.
Society
By
can't decide.
society.
Society doesn't decide if people are outcasts. I know that's what it says, but society can't decide if
Listen,
people are
Yeah,
outcasts.
chaos.
that's
I
In the
what
understand.
beginning,
it
I
means.
do understand what you're saying.
It's
I understand what you're saying,
yeah.
but I don't agree with it. I don't see how
listen. But
all
what I
you're
said
doing. You're
earlier is
placing
ignore those
labels.
social.
There is a
If
there is a movie
no,
called
listen.
Outcast. Have you seen that?
On what?
There is a TV series called Outcast. Have you seen that?
I've heard
There's
the
also a rap group called Outkast. That's not the
yeah.
fucking point, though. Dude,
OUTKAST.
chaos. What I was saying to you earlier. What I was saying to you earlier is, if you don't follow the social norms or social trends, you are willingly becoming an outcast.
How is it willingly? You just
Shit, there
said
really was
you.
a
Oh,
rapper.
you just
Because you are choosing
OUTKAST.
bro.
not to
At the
participate in it.
beginning of this thing, you said
Fuck society, bro.
people choose all that stuff based on how they're raised or their society or wherever's around them, right? If wherever they're from, let's just say it's this
Uh-huh.
one house in a little village and he's homeschooled and his parents don't listen to any of that and he goes through with that, but he has no idea about all that other stuff. He's an outcast even though he didn't choose to be.
Yeah.
That's just how he was raised.
No,
When he goes,
he's not willingly. No, no,
Bro,
no, no.
so he's
In
not an
that case,
outcast
he's not
then.
willingly becoming an outcast. He's an
Then what
outcast
is
because
he?
of the.
Then what is he if he's
No,
not an
he's
outcast?
he's the outcast because of his parents.
he's
That's
his
what
house.
he's
He's
saying.
an
No, so
outcast
he's
because of
still an outcast.
circumstances,
So he's
not
still an
willingly.
outcast. So you're labeling somebody who didn't have a choice. You get what I'm saying?
He's an.
Dude, outcast, I told you the fucking definition. That society decided, okay,
Bro,
he's not part of our group.
what's the
That makes
definition?
him an outcast.
What's the definition of dumbass?
Chaos.
You
No,
walk right into
that's the
that one.
definition.
I was gonna say that too. Okay, I had to stop myself from saying it.
Bro, the problem here is like society. I do get what you're saying.
I'll give you an example. Let's say you drove, like, you are like, okay, I'm not gonna follow the speed limit shit. I'm gonna drive at my own speed. So you're driving at 110 while the speed limit is 70. A cop car is chasing you, right?
Okay.
The cop car stops you. You're like, fuck society. I don't follow any of its laws.
Now why would you stop?
You stop because they caught you. They have a car in front. They were like, hey man, hey squad, there is a car nameplate 706897, some shit like that. It's running on the east of the Chase Road.
And it's a black man. It's a
Yeah.
black man. We gotta stop him.
And suddenly there's a car in front, it just comes on. Intersection. And you are like, bam.
So I
Now
hit
you're stuck
somebody.
between two cars. Yeah, you hit
I
the
hit
cop
somebody.
car.
If I'm going 100 something and I hit somebody, I'm probably dying, unable to speak.
Well,
That's pretty fat. Like if I do that at 80, I'm gonna be hurt. If I do that at 120 or 110, whatever you said,
yeah. You slowed it down because there was a turn, so you
why would
while
I?
turning you were like.
Bro, real speeders don't gotta slow down like that.
You know
What if
what's
this?
funny?
What if they have to make a quick turn? Will they be able to do that, or will their car flip? Will go pew
It
out
depends
of
on
the fucking. Hmm?
they slow it.
You know
Never
what's
mind.
funny?
What?
Um, um, Going back, do you guys remember the God Kids from South Park?
Which? Oh, golf. Yeah.
Oh, God,
The
kids.
God Kids. They're the
Yeah.
definition. They're the definition of being an outcast, of being a egocentric outcast. They're like
Yeah.
they think they're better than everybody else,
Yeah. Mhm.
and they
Remember the
think they.
yeah.
Huh?
Remember the vampire versus golf kids episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
They
a good one too. Shit.
everything's the exact same, but they say they're different, even though they dress the same, they
Uh
think
huh.
the
And they
same, and
call
stuff.
each other posers and shit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they do the same shit. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That humanity, like I said, is a broad term. We need to focus on something if we want to talk about humanity, or else we should just talk about the art thing, which is,
I mean, we can
you know,
get there, but like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with humanity.
There is.
there
Fuck them.
is, there is.
What is wrong with
Fuck them, man.
humanity?
Fuck them.
Oh, Ash, you're the one that complains about humans all the time. What's wrong with humanity?
Yeah. They're crap, buddy.
Okay.
Now, if I have to start giving reasons why they're crap,
Hey,
I would
it's
never
only
stop. Do you want
it's
me to go on a rant?
it's only been 45 minutes. Come on, we got time. Come on, hey, you.
So,
Oh, come on,
where
go
do
on.
we start?
All right.
Sh- sh-
You know, I can give you one. I can give you one to give you a starting point. The lack of empathy and sympathy towards people. Like when you think about people that are
you
so
know,
fucking rich, or
like,
they have
But
so
yeah.
but are
much,
you
and
talking?
nobody
Do you?
somebody.
Mm, Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about. There's actually people in this world that would eat a sandwich in front of a starving kid, and they don't give a fuck. Like I think
So
most people would like cut half of their
You,
sandwich and give it to the
you,
kid because I want to eat too. Shit, you know. But
this
there's
kind
some
of.
people that would not. They wouldn't give a fuck
I'm just gonna.
if that there's somebody right beside them.
This kind of reminded me of that thing. You know how in South Park they showed how these Whole Foods and all these things are just commercializing social problems like poverty. Like Randy gets shamed for not donating. Like you're like, hey, and would you like to not donate? Can you take that sandwich out of the starving kids?
Yeah.
And in that sandwich there is a small hole where the dollar is from, and then he has to take the whole sandwich out in order to take the money. And then
So
he gives $1. He's like, okay, finally I gave $1. And then they shamed him for that. Oh, you have spent $27 and you like to give $1. One whole dollar for that. And then a bell comes in, and then he's like, they would take a photo of him and put him on a board of $1 donators.
it's like
And
that.
then
It's like that
and
episode.
then
Okay, finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then later on, what he does is he makes an advertisement to soothe his ego. He's like, I donate. So what he does is he goes to Africa, and he's like, okay, we are going to save these people. So he gives all those kids iPads, and they don't have electricity, they don't have anything. So he's like, okay, I give them iPads. Now they're going because it's important, and that's how he soothes his ego. He gets all those people behind him, starts a fundraiser whose job is to give iPads to these people.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that episode. I remember that's a good episode too. But when most people, with most regular people, they have this philosophy of out of sight, out of mind. So if you don't see the problems that are going in the world, you don't see them
Yeah.
in front of you. You don't care. That's most normal people. But I'm saying when you see it right in front of you and you don't care, you still don't care. You're like,
But how can
I
you
don't
say
know,
they don't
something's
care?
fucked up with you.
How can you say that they don't care?
Something.
Just because they're not giving that little homeless kid food, how can you say they don't care?
Hmm.
A lot of people handle
Oh,
And
a lot of
you,
people
you
handle
you know,
stress
I'll
different
say
ways.
one
You know
thing
that?
like I have to say one thing right now. America wastes so much of food. Like I have never seen literally crazy amount of food, and they can donate that food to someone, but they don't do it because of the liability reason. Because some people I think have sued them before. They were like, "Oh, it was bad," so they just throw all that stuff.
you know what they do here in Burger King here or McDonald's? Every time they close, they give out the food to the homeless people that are around.
Really,
So
I
they come
haven't
by
seen, but
like,
not here.
yeah,
I guess it
no,
depends.
the employer. It's not company policy.
Yeah.
It's just something the employees do. Because there's a lot of junkies over here, and
Yeah.
like at 12 at night or whenever they close, they just go and they get a few hamburgers and a few and they get food.
I was thinking, what one can do? One can open like an NGO that's like, okay, we are going to take care of all the liability thing. And when before giving the food, they will make those people who are donating sign a waiver form. So that way they can get food, and these donators, like people who are donating the food, they can save themselves from getting sued for liability reason.
I mean, they don't gotta do all that, but yeah.
I,
Just
I I mean, so, like some people, like there was this YouTuber I was seeing. It was called what Magic of Rahat, some shit like that. So he helped one guy, and then that guy got greedy, and he was like, "I never got the money." He kept it, and it was a whole controversial thing. And after that, that guy shut down his YouTube channel and left.
I was seeing something about some commentary channel was making fun of a face guy. I think it was one of the face members, and this face member was helping out a homeless guy, right? And he helped him out for a couple of videos, and then he sort of stopped helping him. And this commentary channel was critiquing him to like, what happened? Why'd you stop helping him? I thought you were a good person. Why didn't you get him a home? Why didn't you do this or do that? And I'm like, dude, he's not obligated to help him forever though. Like, what the fuck? I don't get that either.
There's like
but
another. Some
only
people will say
It's
like he
it's
helped
such
them.
a weak
Yeah,
it's
that.
such a weak gotcha moment. To know to be like, oh, you helped this guy, but you didn't help him enough. The
There's
fact that he helped him in the first place should be good
also
enough already.
also
so
like they
based off
also
that, like
some can
uh,
say.
like based off that, so you're saying if they're at a restaurant eating their lunch and they see a homeless person and they give them half a fry and that's all they ever do, that's okay.
No, in that context, half a fry is being really cheap, dude. You can give him like I don't know
Then
half of your
then how
burger,
then
or you
how
can just buy
then
him a
what's wrong with
combo.
the guy that helped the homeless guy for what you said 2 videos and then he stopped doing it? It's the same thing. Just because it's a
Also,
burger
No,
and
it's
help.
not the same thing.
also
No,
It's the
he
it's
same
could
not
do
the
it
same
thing.
thing.
without also he could do it without
No, it's
recording
not.
himself.
Yeah,
Why does
he could
they
do it
have
without
to?
recording himself. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
It's
You're
like
putting more
commercializing,
value.
commercializing help. Like all these people, there are like YouTube channels that are solely for like they would go up to poor people. They would be like, okay, we are helping them. Like a lot of these Instagrammers they got caught. Like they when these BLM protests were happening, they were just going to that area, taking pics, and then sitting in their car and leaving.
Well, you can't. Not everyone's willing to do that. So what's wrong with what they did? Not everyone's going to go out there and put themselves in danger.
Dude, they went after the whole thing was done.
So I don't see what's wrong.
You are not putting yourself in danger. I mean,
Uh,
I'm just saying, like, this is how they are
oh,
selling themselves. Like,
so,
see,
but I
we are,
mean,
like,
like,
it's not about following ideologies. Right now, it's all about showing that, okay, you are doing something. It's all about, kind of like how Hollywood does shit. It's all about this appealing to the wider audience. It's like reaching out instead of like believing something and doing it out of belief. It's like not they are not even doing something, they're just showing, okay, we can do stuff, we care. Like they would give out speeches,
Well,
they
there's the
would
flip
do
side.
advertisement.
Ash, there's a flip side to the argument. If they don't advertise they're helping, how would you know they're actually helping?
No, I'm
You
not
wouldn't know.
saying
You would
but why
not. You
does it
would not
matter?
assume.
Why
wait.
does it
I
matter if
I
they're
was saying
helping?
like most of these people are not even helping, they're just doing advertisement or giving speeches like we should do this.
But why does it matter if that's what they're doing?
For example,
I don't see
global
what.
warming. A lot of these actors would say, "Hey, man, global warming is," and then they would sit in their private jets. Like all these big pastors who are like, "Oh, you should not look at money. Money is evil." All of this, and then they would sit in their fucking private helicopter, private plane, and then leave to somewhere else.
That doesn't
You
mean they don't
know
mean it though. That
what's
doesn't.
funny though? I've heard some pastors say when they want something.
What?
Go ahead, Cass. No, go ahead, dude. You haven't talked much. Go ahead.
That's cause. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, when it comes to these pastors, like I heard some of them say, God showed to me that I need an airplane. God
Yeah,
revealed to me that
yeah.
I need a jet, and it has to be like a private jet. I can't fly commercial. God doesn't want me to fly commercial because I'm just too sensitive for that. And some people
there
buy
was
into that shit, man. I said,
Hey.
there was a case in India where there was this monk who, no, not monk, I would call saint. Yeah, so he was like, no, not saint, I would say priest. So there was a temple priest. So you know what he did? He said like, okay, I will help this girl to be purified. She is being caught by some kind of a spirit who is harming her. So the only way to free her is by me purifying her. And do you know what the method of purification was? Him fucking her.
of course, of course, dude. I
And
mean,
people buy into that. So people are ready to believe all kinds of crazy shit.
But why can't you believe that?
especially with religion.
Who's to say? No, who's to say
Oh,
God
you
didn't
can.
come? Who's to say God didn't actually say that to him? You know, it's a thing called faith.
Because
Well,
That's what
dude,
they
really,
have.
do you think God? Do you?
Hey, I don't think
Okay, do
God
you
does.
really think
I don't
God
think
did
that
create?
God does anything. Okay, but who's to say that God didn't do all that? The same way you mock them for what they're saying, whether they believe it or not, doesn't really matter. The same way you're mocking them,
no,
there's a
what we are
chance that
saying
it could have
is
happened.
they are using. No, we are
No.
not
But
mocking.
what
We're
if it
saying
actually
like these
happened?
people
You
are
are mocking them because
using
who's to say it didn't
use
actually happen?
using.
Same way you're dismissing
It didn't
them,
actually
you're not
happen.
giving the same
Yeah.
way that you are dismissing them. You're not giving them a chance, even though we all doubt it. There's a chance that it could
Chance
have
to
happened.
exploit more people. We are not giving them chance to exploit more people. Is that what you're saying? All these
No,
people are
no.
cultish. They have
Any
cultish behaviors. They are just preying on these weak individuals, and they are just
bec-
making money out of them, sucking them dry. Do you
see,
know
you're
how many people have
dismissing.
sold their land so much money that they have just in order to seek something that is never going to help them because they have this false, you could say, belief, hope
How is it false? How do you know
of
it's false?
something
How do you know it's false though? Just
because
because
it's
nothing
never going to
happened.
happen.
No, no. So you're doubting something just because it hasn't happened yet, even though you have no idea about anything. Like I said,
No, I have an idea. It's
you're
never
this
going to happen.
you have no
I don't
idea
believe in
because
God,
if
buddy.
you had, it's not about
I
believing
don't
in
believe.
God. You're dismissing
Yeah.
something that you don't understand because they believe it. Who's to say that God
No,
actually
I
exists?
understand.
Who's to
I
say no?
understand the.
You don't understand because
I
if you
understand
did,
the
if you
advertisement.
understood,
No,
no, if you under, can I finish? Can I finish? Because you're talking a lot
no, you
today.
cannot.
Can
Fuck
I
you,
let me
man.
finish? All right, you're dismissing everything they're saying, and like I said, who's to say that God isn't actually saying all this stuff to them, and then something's
Yeah, I
happening,
know for sure.
and you're just
I
dismissing
can
it for
bet
Listen,
my
no
life
reason
on
other
it. That's
than
how
it's
much
never
I'm
happened
sure.
before,
Can you? Can
bruh.
you?
How is that value? Let's look at the big picture of humanity. Let's look at this big picture of the world. Our lives. They don't actually have monetary or any type sort of value. So betting your life doesn't mean anything.
Listen, chaos. You remember Training Day, right?
No.
Holy
Oh, come
shit.
on. You post that stupid gif all the time, my nigga. Right? You know Training Day, right?
Hey, you can't use that word.
Will you, whatever, dude, okay? The point is in the movie, what does he say? It's not what you know, it's what you can prove, okay? That's how it works. Because people can say anything. Oh, God came to me in a dream and wants me to have your car.
So just
Like,
because
that
you
makes no
can't,
fucking sense.
so because you can't
And
prove
you
it,
be,
hey, so because you can't prove it, but they can. Let's say they can prove it, but you can't prove it. So what
No,
does that
like
mean?
we have to disprove their proof.
No,
That's how
no,
proof
no,
works.
no, no,
Like
no. I'm talking
you
about
you
you
prove something
specifically.
and then you have
No.
to, if you want to
So you're
not
disproving it
validate it,
because it
so you
hasn't
have to
happened.
disprove it.
No. Look, the
No.
fact is,
So
it
for
doesn't
us
matter.
to disprove, there has to be some proof. For us to disprove, there has to be some proof. Like
You
let's
do
say,
realize the
you know,
whole
like Newton's
basis
laws.
of
Like Newton's law,
hold
there
on,
was this
hold on,
thing.
hold on,
There
hold
was
on,
this
hold on,
proof.
hold
So
on, hold
they
on,
this
hold on,
Einstein
hold
disproved
on.
it. Disproved it with his
Ash,
experiment. That's what I'm
Ash,
saying. So for
Ash,
disproving something, there has
Shut
to
the
be
fuck up for like 10 seconds.
proof.
Shut the fuck up for like 10 seconds,
Jesus
okay?
Christ.
Goddamn.
Jesus.
You do realize the whole basis of religion and all that stuff is faith because there's no
Faith,
proof of
yeah, not proof.
anything.
Yeah,
You do realize it's faith, right? That's the whole basis
yeah,
of all religion. It's faith.
yep.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
now continue. You don't even remember
Yeah,
what
so
you were
that's what
saying,
I'm
do
saying.
you?
Exploiting,
Oh my God,
exploiting people
Jesus.
based on that is wrong.
But how
Exactly.
can you say they're exploiting? That's the thing. You're not them.
Because
You
they
don't do what they
obviously
see,
are. Dude,
bro. Bro,
one of the reasons, dude, I can explain to you
no, explain it.
why they
Explain
are
it.
exploiting.
I'm
Okay,
interested. Explain it to
because
me. Explain it to me.
one,
Explain your
one,
proof. No, what's your proof? The
one
proof
is
you were
to.
talking about. I want the proof you were talking about. The proof. Explain it to
So
me.
why do we have to prove and they had to not prove?
You just said
You
you need
said
Exactly.
proof.
There
faith.
you
You
go.
just said you
That's
We
the
need
are
proof.
proof.
we are
You
disproving
so
faith
you're
with
not
faith.
no, you
Faith
just
in
said that
human
you need proof.
psychology. Faith in
I'm
human
quoting you.
behavior. All the
I'm
studies we
quoting
have.
you. I'm quoting you. You said we need
Yeah.
proof.
So
So give me the
yeah. So
proof. Give me the
no.
proof that they're lying.
I can tell
We
you
are
if you guys will let
disproving.
me.
So for us to disprove, there has to be proof, is what I said. Like let's say Newton law was there, and then Einstein
So
came. So
so
when
you're
Einstein
disproving
said,
for
"Okay,
nothing.
this was long," so he disproved the equation by going after certain experiment and then proving it. Okay, this is the result we get, and this is the result we get from this. That means this equation is wrong, and this will be correct because we are going around in the world, and time is flexible and it's not constant for all these things. So he used all these things in order to disprove Newton's law. So that's what I'm saying. For us to disprove that there is nothing that happened, there has to be a proof of something that happened, so that we can say, okay, these are the things that are this thing states. So we have disproved it by following this and during trial and error, and then following some different kind of thing to disprove it. That's what I'm saying. So when you're disproving something, there has to be a proof or something.
So you haven't
It
disproven
cannot
anything.
be just blind. Just blind does not exist. How can you disprove it?
Hey, can you say that one more time?
He did say
Your
at the
mic was cutting
beginning.
out. Your mic was cutting out. Can you say that again? Ash, your mic was cutting out. At the end of that. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, so if, like, let's say there is nothing, how can you disprove nothing?
So you're mocking.
Like, can you prove
I love
nothing
that
can
silence.
exist?
I love
You
that
cannot.
silence.
Oh.
Listen. Not
This kind of brings me to a point. I want to say, like, there is nothing is a human made concept. There was always something.
I gotta
That's what
piss.
I believe.
I gotta piss. I'll be back. I'm going to pause this real quick. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay. I'll be Buck.
I want to explain to him though, because he said religion is faith based, which is true, and I can explain it to him because I agree with you, Ash, that those people are like some pastors are taking
Yeah,
advantage
you know,
of the church.
I'm like, okay, I don't have any problem with religion. What I have problem with is with these cults who are just set up in order to exploit. Like, there is not a single cult that has existed in the history that has not exploited humanity, like humans who are preying on their faith or easily believe. Like, they would just target these weak peoples and just strip them out. Like, there was this cult in Korea that took these people's lands and everything from these old people, promising them
Yeah,
that they will go to heaven. Then there was this one, these cults in India that do the same thing. They would get all these lands and everything in their name, saying like, okay, we will promise that you will end up in heaven. And then a lot of these people have been caught, like a lot of girls, families would come and live in their own live in their place. Like, they have this big land with so many followers and everything. Then they would like take all these girls and exploit them. So a lot of these people have been arrested. Like, past 3 years, two people have been arrested for molesting a lot of young girls who used to stay at this people.
of course, dude. I remember seeing a documentary on the Mormons
Yeah,
and the little Mormon groups they have in certain parts of Utah and
yeah,
different places where they would just marry 15-year-old girls. And you can see, dude, the fucked up thing is you can see their wedding photos and
yeah.
they look like father and daughter. Like you can tell that girl's like 14 and the guy's like 40 and they're all
So
posing. It's so weird,
they will be
man.
arrested, right? They will be arrested or no?
I don't think so. I don't know, dude. I honestly don't know because
Yeah, because there is a thing called freedom of religion, so that is used as a lot as a way to, like, if let's say they are like, okay, something is not happening, so they would say, hey man, you are just coming in the way of our religion. So even the cops and the law stops at that point because they don't want to be accused of, uh,
yes, yeah.
so, like in a lot of countries, there are laws to protect that. Like, even in India, like if you're doing that thing, you are breaking the law. So you will be put in jail for even for hurting sentiments, because they're like, hey man, you are just mocking our religion, so you are hurting the sentiments, and you are and these people believe, and they believe like these people should not be insulted, so you are coming in the way of our way of religion, and they will put you in jail. Like, there was a guy who was caught because he made a joke on one of these cult guy, and later on that cult guy was caught for, you know what was the fucking part about this? He was fucking his own daughter.
Yeah. Those people really live in like a secluded culture. You know what I mean?
Like,
So to them,
her daughter's husband was like, she used to go and then his dad would fuck her. He gave an interview when that guy was caught.
dude, dude, did you know? Did you know? I forgot the name of the guy, but they call him a monster. It's basically one of those cycles that kidnapped one of his daughters, and then he built a second home below his regular home to have her be his wife. Do you know that story?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
I forgot his name. I think his name is Joseph something, probably. But that's super fucked up, dude. To like, Jesus, I mean,
Yeah,
how
what are we talking about right now,
the
anyways?
heck
Curious.
do that to your own man?
There was this case in India where there was this deaf girl. No, no, deaf, not deaf, mute. So she could not speak. So, her father used to come home drunk and just bang her.
Yes, dude, that's so fucked up. And
And the thing was that
There's a lot
she
of
could
people
not
like that.
speak, so then he would when she would go out of the house, some neighbor would do that, and then she was raped so many times, and then she was killed.
Dude, it's fucking horrible, man. Come on. Okay, Jesus, this topic is gonna bring me down. Okay,
What are we
uh,
even talking
you're
about?
back,
Like
chaos.
I've been back for like 10 minutes. I don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all changed the subject.
Ah, we were just
We're talking
yeah.
about we're talking about humanity in general. I guess the worst aspect of humanity we were talking about,
What's the worst aspect?
and crazy people.
No, we are talking
Like
about
I
all
said,
these
sociopaths
incidents.
and psychopaths, and we were talking about pastors that use their congregation to get money out of them or materialistic shit. That's also
Yeah,
wrong.
like they would tell old people to
But
have
how is that
name all
wrong?
their lands, and dude,
No, I'm serious. How's it wrong? They're just trying to get money. How's it wrong?
Because okay, I'll explain to you, chaos. When it comes into Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
Christianity teaches a lot of good things, and most of the teachings they have like a moral lesson behind them, something good you can extrapolate.
Can you give me an
But when it comes
example?
to huh?
Can you give me an example?
Okay,
what do you want words
uh,
from Rook? By the way, Rook, have you been to prison?
don't go there. That's not relevant anymore. Uh, I'm actually trying to think of a good story because
What?
Christian, because I'm not a Christian myself. I
You want
don't
to
really
say the golden
extrapolate my
rule?
values.
The golden rule: do unto others
What?
as you would have them do to you, or something.
That's one of them. Exactly. That's a good moral for them to like. One of them is to not judge people.
Oh, by
Only
the way,
God can
Kios,
judge
what kind
people.
of Christian are you?
Uh,
Lutheran, Baptist, Catholic, Protestant?
Who here is Christian?
They're just asking.
well, like I
Hey,
said, chaos. The point is that Christianity is supposed to be this ideals and morals to help out the people, not really help out one individual.
you know, I
An
went to
get an airplane because he said God appeared to me in a dream and he told me that I need an airplane so I can travel the world and spread His word and all that because they mask it around something good or something charitable.
you
But
know,
you can obviously tell it's for
you,
self gain. You know what I
I
mean?
went to a private Christian school from kindergarten till I graduated high school. I never got that once.
I went to Catholic school. Oh my God, they used to beat the
What do you
shit
mean you
out of
never
us.
got that once,
I
Chaos?
never got that meaning you just said. The point of Christianity being that you're supposed to help
But then again, it
others.
depends what kind of school you went to, because it has to be like, if it's Catholic school, they follow different stuff. Baptist follow different
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Protestant follow
I went to
different
a
stuff.
Christian. It was literally a Christian school. That was in the
Yeah, but
title.
Christian, what kind of Christian?
Yeah, it literally said Christian in the name of the school.
Like like here they
Being
have
Catholic isn't Christian, right? Catholic and Christianity are two different
yeah.
things, right? They're separate. So I went to a Christian school. So I'm just saying, based off what he said, not once did I ever get that.
What, seriously?
Well, dude, come
That's
on,
why I'm
dude.
asking you.
Catholic
Yeah, I've read the
The
Bible
Bible
like a
itself,
few times. Like that's why I'm
the
asking you
Bible
for an
itself,
example.
dude. Like I said, the Bible itself is like a book of morals. It's like a guide of for you to have a fulfilling spiritual life that is in accordance with God's will. That's the whole
Where did
point
you
of the
get that?
Bible.
Where
And
is
if you
that in the
live that
Bible?
lifestyle, you're supposed to improve yourself. It's something for self improvement. It's mass behind self improvement. You
I
know.
don't know about that.
By the way, I was
Self
just asking,
improvement.
what
It's
type of
more.
Christian were you supposed to be?
I'm not Christian.
What are you?
I believe in God, but that's about it. I don't. I don't do anything else.
So,
I don't
yeah,
pray. I don't go to
like
church. I don't
when you were a kid.
do any. I've never look. I'm pretty simple. I've always believed in God, but I don't pray to any of Him or them if there are more. I had to go to church, and I did the same
Like,
thing. I listened like I'm doing now, and I
what kind
formed
of
my own
church was it?
opinion.
It's for.
I've been to Catholic church. I've been to a Christian church, a black Christian church, a white Christian church. Like
Okay,
Dude,
it's all the
when
same
you
so
say
shit.
what is your?
Catholic is a type of
I
Christianity.
went, I went, I went to a Catholic school. But okay, Chaos. So what is your opinion on religion? Is it bullshit? Is it true? Is it what? What?
It's
What
up
is
to
it?
each person. It doesn't really matter to me. Like I said, I believe in God.
Yeah,
That's about it. I don't.
for me, I
I
don't
don't
believe
do
in
any
God, but I'm like
relations with
I'm
any religion
like
besides
I have
God.
no problem with
I
religion.
believe in God,
If it
and it's
helps
separate.
people, if it helps people, I'm fine with it. It's just that some people try to use it as an excuse to
But like I was saying
take
earlier, how can you say that they're
cash
trying?
out of it.
How can you say they're trying? What if that God is actually doing something for them and telling them to do
Because
it?
no, it's just that it is an industry on its own. Like you
Yeah,
don't
it's
need
an
to
Yeah.
go to
industry.
church to believe in God.
But
You
like I
can just
said, the
believe
whole
in and
point
not
of
go.
religion is faith. And let's say
Yeah,
that their
and
faith is
that's the
strong
thing.
enough and God
No,
communicates with them.
that is the
And then
thing.
God is telling
It,
them to do all that stuff. And they're
yeah,
doing it
no,
believing that
but
God is
here
being
is the
honest.
thing. Faith is like a double-edged sword. It can be helpful for you. It can be bad for you.
Okay. What does that mean?
And not only
No,
that,
no,
you should be
it's
able to
what you
dispute
choose
it.
to believe.
You should be
You,
able to dispute it
you know,
too.
like if you
Yeah, you
believe
can
whatever
dispute it.
that,
But like I
wh-
was
wh-
saying earlier, your whole
no,
premise was you
no,
cannot
if you
disprove
believe,
something that's not
if
proven. But like I said,
yeah,
religion is all based on faith, something that you can't really prove. So that means you can't disprove it,
yeah,
according to what y'all were saying.
no, but according to religion also, they said like they have like I don't know about, but I have heard, I don't know how true it is, but they said that you are not supposed to believe a human being who claims to be God or some shit
You're
like
not
that.
supposed to You're not supposed to worship a human like a god.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
different
you
than that's
in
different
Baptist
than what
it's
you
like
said.
that. No, yeah, no. So what
I get what
cults
you
are
mean,
doing?
but
These
worship, yeah.
people, yeah. So these people, a lot of these cults or people, they claim to be gods. Like there is this guy Nityanand in India who used to like he has his own prayers. Like people are praying to him.
Hey, who's to say there's not more than one God? Who's to say that
That
God? Who's to say God's real? Who's to say
that's
God isn't real?
how
Who's to say there's not a billion gods? So for all we know, that God could be a
and
god.
it's not just into island and now he's living there. He started his own country, his own
So,
government, everything. He just fled with all his money.
so if he's a god, he can do that, right?
Nityanand.
You know, like what is it? A lot of gods
here's the thing. You
rely on on prayers and sacrifice to survive.
Eh,
So that was their whole thing back with like the
No,
Loki
no,
section of
it's
God.
just that he claimed to be a Hindu saint, and then later on, when he got his blind followers, he claimed to be God, which is
Hey,
not true. Like, if
we
you
don't know
but
that.
follow,
listen.
You just don't believe it. That's why you're saying it's not true. We don't actually know that.
no, no,
It could
no.
have been true.
So no, here is the thing. When you talk about faith, let's say you're talking about Christianity. So these people believe in something, like there is all
Yeah,
these things. Then these people come in and they claim, okay,
yeah,
like they do a variation of this thing
yeah.
and they divert people. They use their helplessness as a way to get money out of them.
According to you,
So I'm saying that is wrong. No, I'm saying that
you
is wrong.
can't unless you can't even prove that.
How all these people have criminal records. At the end, when police does the
Just so you're
investigation,
saying
they
You
that
get
can
caught.
prove
criminals,
it.
you're
They
saying
get
that
You
caught.
can
criminals
prove
They
it.
are
get caught.
Chaos.
They
so you're
get
saying
caught.
that
They
just
get
because they're
caught. They
criminals,
get caught.
they're not
They
God.
get caught.
They can't be God just
Yeah.
because they're criminals.
No, they admit to all these things. Like, okay, we have been telling lies to these people,
Uh,
and we have been doing these.
uh,
They admit after getting caught.
uh. That makes them.
So
That makes everything they said before not true.
yeah.
Of
Every single
course.
thing. How?
That's literally what it means. Because they're literally
How?
in that case, in
No,
that specific
So
case,
once they're
after they were
no.
caught,
captured,
they
once they're
confessed.
captured and in
He
jail, and they say everything was a lie, that means it's true. Not when they're free roaming the world. getting money.
Well, so how are you deciding what is a lie or not?
I don't decide what's a
Oh my
lie. Everyone
god.
can believe what they want.
No,
I don't
because
really look.
it's
I'm not
okay.
look. It could be true. It could not be true. I'm not. Look, y'all are the ones that's completely dismissing everything,
No, we are dismissing what is some.
which is yeah, you're dismissing the
Ah,
whole lives.